Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Moments with Kate. Today the power is out in downtown Toronto. There's not a whole lot to do, and so I thought what a great day to tell you all about my crazy experience winning tickets to the Wimbledon men's finals this year. Now I'm not gonna lie, I am quite the lucky gal. I have to say, being Irish really helps. I do win contests here and there, but I've never won anything quite like this. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and I'm going to tell you all about the crazy ride I had. Alrighty, so near the end of June, I had to go to London for a business trip. And it was my first time in the UK. It was a lot of fun, a little scary going solo, but it was well worth it. I had a great time. I was in London for about a week. And on my way home, it's kind of a tradition to pick up something from duty free that isn't made in my home country of Canada. So any sort of unique London alcohol that I can bring home and just keep tucked away for when I have company over. So I went to one of the large duty frees. I was looking around, looking at all the ones that I didn't recognize and trying to pick something. Now gin is my all-time favorite type of alcohol, especially when it's like got a light flavor to it, so mint or lime or anything like that. There was this company called Sipsmith, which I honestly had never heard of before, but that's sort of the point. I was trying to find really niche ones compared to Canada. And they had a grand display in this duty free. They had umpire seats and flowers and tennis rackets, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. So they had a limited edition like lemongrass gin for Wimbledon this year. And I was like, okay, I have to get that one, that's really cool. So I pick up the bottle, fly home, and I leave it on the counter. And then days later, it's still sitting on the counter, so I'm like, okay, I better put it away. And then I see a little QR code. I actually have it. It was this little QR code that was on the bottle. And I was like, whatever, I'll just scan it. I was in between meetings at home. I'm like, let me just scan it, whatever, doesn't matter. It said it was the final day of the contest, so I'm like, all right, might as well enter it. So I click, enter my details. They ask a question. It's like, what's your favorite type of alcohol? I'm like, gin, of course. Enter in all my details. I press enter, and then a thing immediately pops up and it says, congratulations, you've won. And so I thought, okay, obviously it's just one of those contests where everybody wins something. I probably won $10 off my next bottle. Awesome. So then I also receive an email right away, and it was pretty official, and it said, congratulations, you've won the grand prize of men's finals tickets, a pair of them, to Wimbledon this year. I said, no way. There's no way. I just couldn't believe it, of course, and so I thought, uh-oh, there's a glitch, they're gonna get in a lot of trouble. Anyone that enters wins the grand prize, like this sucks for them. And so I scoped it out a bit more. It was super official, it had all the branding and yada, but I was still like, no way. Sure enough, a few days later, the officials reached out and they said, you did in fact win our grand prize, and there was only one winner, and it was me on the final day of the contest, and so it was just, I still can't believe it. So back and forth, I was still super skeptical. I asked a million questions, blah, 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 because I mean, I was obviously gonna go if I won. I'm not gonna sell the tickets, but there was no option to sell them anyways. So back and forth, I asked them 1,001 questions because I couldn't believe it. I wanted to make sure, A, it was real, that I could get there, all of that good stuff. So I started to look at what tickets go for because I am quite familiar with Wimbledon, most people are, but I just didn't quite understand how expensive Wimbledon is, if you can even get a ticket. So tickets for my section were going for over $8,000 a seat, and I had 2 tickets. So right off the bat, I thought, okay, I love Wimbledon, but I love money, so I'm gonna sell them. But then I started to think, okay, it's last minute. Wimbledon was in 10 days, keep in mind, before I won this contest. And so I thought, I put them up on a selling website. They don't sell. That means no money, and I didn't even get to go. So I thought about it a bit more, and then I found out that they weren't really giving me like a cash equivalent or anything like that for these tickets. And it was really high security, so my name and my guest's name had to be on the tickets. So I thought about it a bit and I said, as nice as cash could be, I gotta go to Wimbledon. This is once in a lifetime. There's no way I'm going to Wimbledon, especially men's finals, ever again in my life. So sure enough, I booked very expensive last-minute flights to London. I booked a hotel, checked out a few places to eat. I was only there for 4 days because I mean, it was so last minute. It was literally the next week. Luckily, my boss said, yes, you have to go. And we flew over, we got our fancy outfits, we dressed all up, and it was just fun to be in London and see more of it. I didn't get to see all of it last time, so it was fun. You can never see all of it. And then sure enough, it was the day of Wimbledon, so we Ubered over, we got there well ahead of time just because we wanted to see the grounds and everything like that. We scanned our tickets. As mentioned, it was very high security, even with the tickets, so you have to download the official Wimbledon app. Your name's on the ticket. It's like a timed QR code. And there's also like an animation that spins so that it shows that it's not being like copied or screenshotted. I tried to screenshot it just as a backup, but it wouldn't even let me, so pretty cool. We just walked around. The grounds were quite large. There's many different courts of different sizes, tons of food vendors and shopping and things like that. We of course picked up souvenirs, lots of souvenirs, spent way too much money on souvenirs, but again, you have to. We ate lots of different food and sausages and things like that. We got the strawberries and cream, of course. I couldn't believe that it was literal just coffee cream poured over strawberries in a little brown to-go container. I thought it was at least gonna be like a whipped cream, but nope, it was literally just cold coffee cream on strawberries, but it was so hot that day, I didn't mind. It was a nice refreshing treat. I of course had to visit my friends at Sipsmith. They had their own little booth, so I got a cocktail there. That was really yummy. And even Amex had their own booth. There was a lot of like corporate sponsorships and things like that, which was fun to see. As mentioned, it was so hot that day. It wasn't quite the official UK heat wave that we had this summer, but it was like well into the 30s. I was sweating like crazy. I did have a sun hat, but I was wearing a dress that was high collar and long sleeves, so I was just sweating like crazy, but it was fine. It was well worth it. So when it came time for the game itself, we wanted to get in there early and just scope things out. So we went in, we found our section. It's a really neat arena. It's really large in a sense, but also quite small. I've only really ever been to like professional hockey games, so the vibe was quite different. But we found our section and we took some pictures and got all settled. And as mentioned, it was so hot, but I was so thankful that we were far enough back where we were in the shade, because if we were in the direct sun, like most people, it would have been bad. I don't think I could have sat through the whole game, but we were in the 300s. So it goes from like probably 100 to 500, so right in the middle, and it was perfect. The sun never caught us. It was also a very long game. I think it was well over 3 hours, so I'm really happy. I only got up once to grab us a few more drinks because it was way too hot, but I was able to see almost all of the game. The game itself was insane. I'm not the biggest tennis fan, but I did take tennis when I was younger. I sort of follow all the things. Serena and Venus got me really into it, so it was really nice to watch. And I think it was really cool to watch Nick and Novak, because Novak's, you know, a veteran. He's been in the game many a time, so it was cool to watch him play. But also Nick, who's kind of like a newer player in a sense. I wouldn't even say that. He's obviously very talented and been around for a while, but he's younger to the game. Wimbledon finals, which is pretty crazy, and he's such a character to watch. Like, he was getting so revved up by his box, by the fans, throwing stuff around, probably swearing. It was just really funny to watch. But I just couldn't get over the pure skill of them. They were just so talented. Their serves, you could just see the power behind it. And it was just so captivating. You wouldn't want to take your eyes off of the play for like a second. And I really appreciated that there was really no long intermissions or breaks. It was very short, very quick. It kept going. So because the game was well over 3 hours, they must have been exhausted. As mentioned, I've only ever really watched hockey games, so the rowdiness was not there. Everyone was super professional, super quiet. The second the umpire gave the signal that it's time to keep going, it was silent. You could hear a pin drop, and you could even hear them speaking, bouncing the ball. It was really cool. Definitely saw some celebrities in the crowd, some local UK people. Don't really follow them a whole lot. Don't get mad at me, but there was some people like, I don't know. There was like one of the Spider-Man actors there, someone from Marvel, a model, an action movie guy. I really don't know these people. There was also the royal family in the royal box, which was cool to see because I know Kate and William and their kids, so that was really cool to see. And then after the game, we just stayed a little bit longer, looked around one more time, did a bit more shopping and eating, and then it was time to head out, and I've never seen more Rolls Royces lined up in one go. I just couldn't believe all the private cars and chauffeurs for these people. It was really cool to see how the other side lives. We tried to get an Uber, we couldn't, so we took the tube home, but it was well worth it. It was a hot day, it was a tiring day, but it's just really cool to say that I've been to Wimbledon, especially men's finals. So that is the luck of the Irish for you, doing its work, and I'm really happy I went. I'm really happy that I randomly did that contest, and I'm definitely going to be entering more contests soon. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're hoping to get to Wimbledon, maybe I can answer a few questions for you, but otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.